you get to play so much stuff and bring games to so many people. It's also, though, it's a grind, and I mean, now it's like, you're doing Rooster Teeth projects, you're doing YouTube originals, you're doing your own channel. Talk to us a bit about, I mean, do you still have fun playing games, or does it feel like work sometimes? I mean, now it's like,
it does feel like work sometimes. That's the saddest part about it. It's like working at your favorite restaurant. You don't want to eat there anymore.
Do you still have fun
But
playing games?
at the same time, like, if I can steal a moment, which I don't often get, I'd rather do something that kind of is more focused on self-improvement than playing games. Not to be all like up my own ass about it. Oh, sorry, can I curse? I have no idea.
Yes, you can. Yeah.
I'd rather okay, good, great. But if I'm taking some time to myself, I'd rather go for a run or go rock climbing or try to learn Korean, which is what I'm trying to do these days.
Oh, wow.
And take some time for myself instead of just killing time with playing games. Because playing games is great and it's very rewarding, but at the same time, I have so little time to spare these days, so I want to use myself wisely instead of.
No, and he said, like, the life of being a content creator. It's like it's a lot of like being in, on camera, being in a room, editing, putting that stuff all together.
And it's something that can get me excited and something that I think people will love and something that I think will really kind of like live on as a memory, because I forget the days where I'm doing the same thing over and over. Something that can get me excited. I'll tell you this, even if I was up until 8 a.m. filming, and we started filming about 6, kind of like live on as a memory, 10 a.m. the day before. I forget even if I'm up until 8 a.m. same thing over and over. Kind of shoot like it excited. I will remember this. Even if I was up until 8 a.m. filming, and we started filming about 6, kind of like live on as a memory, 10 a.m. the day before. I forget even if I'm up until 8 a.m. same thing over and over. Kind of shoot like it excited. I will remember this. Even if I was up until 8 a.m. filming, and we started filming about 6, kind of
tours, you've made lots of videos.
I forget, even if I'm up until 8 a.m.
There are lots of projects. It's challenging.
I remember, even if I was up until 8 a.m.
The Jack tour, you've made lots of videos. How do you let the thing, lots of projects? It's challenging.
Even if I was up until 8 a.m.
The Jack tour, you've made lots of videos. How do you let the thing, lots of projects? It's challenging. The Jack tour, you've made lots of videos. How do you let the thing, lots of projects? It's challenging. The Jack tour, you've made lots of videos.
Latch onto your vision and help build it up and wanting to push it forward. And the entire team here at Rooster Teeth has just been a dream to work with. Every single person on the crew has taken my weird idea and just been like, yeah, let's make that. Yeah, that's stupid, but I love it. And that's you can't buy that. It's just something you got to find. Weird idea. So beautiful. And just been like, yeah.
And in terms of your channel, it's obviously
I love it. And
that's people love the content that you put out, and I think you got to keep that fresh for your own, peace of mind too, and and creative excitement. What do you think the Markiplier channel is going to look like over the next few months? Do you plan it out, or is it more spontaneous that you put out? And
I keep thinking my channel's going to die like like next month, so I never really think about it. When it comes down to my channel, you know, I'm never going to stop doing gaming videos. Probably. I keep thinking my channel's going to die before and broken them really quickly next month. So I love doing when it comes down to my channel, you know, I'm never going to stop doing gaming videos so long.
Are definitely thinking of you and all the good that you do for the gaming community. So we really appreciate you kind of joining us all the way from Austin, and I know it's been a busy couple weeks to finish it up. But you're done filming now, officially?
Yes, all done filming once and for all.
Joining us
now
all the way
comes
from
the
Austin,
long,
and,
arduous
I know it's been a
process
busy
of
couple weeks
editing,
to,
and then slowly remembering
finish it up,
all
but
the
you're
shots
done
that we
filming
forgot to
now?
get,
Officially?
panicking, yes, and then
all
screaming,
done
crying.
You
Nice.
get reshoots, right? Joining us
now
all the way
comes
from
the
Austin.
if we have the budget for it. Yeah, sure. Yeah, we'll try.
We'll green light that. All right. Well, Mark, thanks so much for joining us. Have a good day in Austin. And again, we will check out your new YouTube show. Do we have a name for it?
Heist with Markiplier, because I'm a narcissist.
All right. Heist with Markiplier coming later this year to YouTube. Mark, thanks again for taking the time.
Thank you. I go sleep now.
All right. Good night. Good night. Well, it looks like games are not the only place with shots fired. The social media hashtag battles have been escalated quite quickly today. Let's check in with Megan to see. Megan, what are the people saying on the internets?
Let me tell you what they're saying, Jeff. Look at this. The Zelda excitement is through the roof. Look at this GIF. It's adorable. I like it. Link's Awakening Remake is becoming my most anticipated game of E3. Awakening is the only 2D Zelda game I really loved prior to Between Worlds in 2013. And I'm excited to see how they translate the world, flesh out the characters, and what changes they make. Me too. Cyberpunk 2077 looks so good. That will be the start of E3 for me, or Halo. You know, you can have both. That's okay. Halo Infinite, yes, so excited. In the chat, is everyone excited for Halo? I think it's a yes. Chastity says, the sudden distressing realization that Star Wars, Jedi Fallen Order, and Pokemon Sword and Shield both release on the same day.
Check.
What? I didn't realize this.
Okay.
I need more hours in the day. I'm conflicted.
I think that's
it.
it.
I'm so excited that E3 is here because it might mean news for the Switch version of Animal Crossing. Guys, I am so hyped for Animal Crossing. Every single time we bring it up, I get so excited. My heart grows 3 times the size. Telling Lies is going to be a good game for people like me that analyze and solo gameplay. That game looks incredible. Last one, Thomas. I can't describe how excited I am for Microsoft.
It's really hard to stream.
That looked incredible. I feel like you can go on vacation playing that game. But clearly, the competition is fierce, but that means there are more awesome games on the way, which might be the best problem to have. Next, we tap into the pulse of LA being here on set at LA Live. We can feel the energy. We can hear people getting excited for games. We've been seeing them line up all day. It's been pretty awesome, and E3 is like just underway. So next, show us your E3 spirit and share photos with us on Twitter using the hashtag YouTubeE3.
Welcome,
if you're
folks.
here in town right now. We want to put you guys up on this TV and talk about all the good stuff that you guys are doing. So, Jeff, my friend, back to you.
Thank you, Megan. You having fun today?
I'm having a great time talking about video games.
I know, and you got this whole board. Like,
I know.
Everything everyone's saying.
It's like I'm doing the weather, but for video games.
I was gonna say mission control. You control the narrative.
It's raining video games, Jeff.
It's and who knows what the weather's gonna be later tonight. But people are generally pretty positive, right?
Yes, all positive.
Okay.
That's all YouTube let us do.
That's right. Thumbs up. All right. Now people are generally feeling pretty good about games today, and again, we've got so much more coming your way. We got Bethesda at 5:30.
I'm doing good, Crystal K. How you doing?
He's gonna be out here in a minute.
How's your E3 going? We got all this hype going.
Right now, speaking of
It's
the
completely
lighting,
awesome.
alive and well in
Xbox
Dying
just wrapped
Light
up
2.
their
And we
presentation.
got
That was
tech
pretty.
plans,
That was
lead
pretty
designer,
awesome.
Simone
That was
Snuck
pretty
Pepper with us
badass.
to talk about Dying Light
Some of this
2.
E3 stuff,
We
you know,
just saw
falls
it,
short,
the
but
Xbox,
I give them a lot
last
of
year, the
credit.
Xbox press
You know,
conference,
I have an
and
Xbox
this year they're
One,
back
and
again.
it's pretty much my
we are back
kids.
again
I don't
for
really
much
play it.
longer,
Yes.
and a new demo that we are presenting to the media at
Yes.
E3.
Okay,
The
live
biggest reviews of the trailer are
dashboard.
twofold. One is that
Let's
in the
put this
game
over
players
here.
Ethan Caldwell,
Okay.
who is the survivor in this city where everyone is infected, and he is infected as well, and he's looking for a cure for this.
Yeah, what do you
And
think
the
of
other big reveal
Xbox?
is, of course,
Do you
the
have an
release
Xbox?
date or release window, which is spring 2020, when the game will be released for PC, PS4, and Xbox One.
Okay, so you guys are further into it. Yeah, Dying Light 1, you know, kind of, I don't think people expected it to be what it was, and it was such a great fun game with, you know, the parkour.
It's like I said, I mean, I have
motion
an
in it.
Xbox 360
But in Dying Light
downstairs,
2,
but
obviously much
it's,
more expansive.
you know, it's
and
kind of
sort
my
that
kids.
day-night cycle.
I mean, I play it from
Tell us
time to
about how the
time.
gameplay's different.
Really, the only things I really played on it was like, you know, some Game Pass games. I played Red Dead Redemption 2. I played,
to how it plays to the events that occur. And this is very important because as you
not really much else. You know, my girl, she bought Resident Evil 7, which I've yet to play. I'm going to be playing that on there. She also bought the Spyro Reignited trilogy, so I'll be playing that on there as well.
Wow.
Here we go.
And that's what
Lift
people
up
want,
the
is
seat,
obviously the idea
get the
of
microphone ready.
narrative. So tell me from
This wasn't actually
sort
too
of
bad
a
setting this
design
up.
perspective,
It's my
how
first time
malleable is the world? How
actually
will it react?
streaming through OBS.
There are a lot of different layers on which it reacts, but for me the biggest important
So,
thing of this is that you can actually inject
I believe if someone new
elements into the game. What I mean
subscribes,
by that is, for example,
that
you can buy some choices, you can create a group
the little,
which will be supporting you during
little
combat,
thing will
which
come up
be
on screen.
respawning you when you die. Or you can, for example,
So,
work
hey,
with
Crystal
another
Kite,
set of people
will you
and they will
unsubscribe
start
and
working on
resubscribe
the
and see if the little thing
system
pops up? It
for
should
you.
be in the
So
bottom
there is
left.
installing,
I tried
line bridges,
I tried doing
zip
like a
lines,
custom
role-playing
thing with like a
vehicles,
font
lot
and
of
stuff,
different
but
things
I
that allow
couldn't
you
figure it
to
out.
move through the city with more ease. So basically, there's a lot of different systems that you can
So I'm kind of
turn
curious
on
to see if
in
it'll
terms
pop
of
up.
new game at your will, by your choices
Yeah,
in
it says
the
right
game.
here on my TV it came up,
Let's talk a bit about the parkour, which was something.
which is
that
weird
we
that
love
it
the
came
sense
up
of motion
on
in this
top.
game. We're seeing
Okay.
some of it here.
See, it's weird because then when you
Anything
test the
you were thinking about
widgets,
sort of how mobile you'll
when
be
you
with
test
it?
the
Yes, so we can
widgets,
set this
it
up here, and we are
I don't know, it
configuring
shows it down in the bottom left, and it shows it kind of like up in this top left how it has the number of viewers, and it showed it in that. It's kind of like the, I guess, the Smash Ultimate kind of setup that they have. But hey, at least it works. So thank you, Crystal Kite. So it's weird because when you're going through your widgets and stuff, it says new subscribers, and then it has,
a lot of new gameplay tools for you to use. One of the reveals of this year's E3 is the fact that aside of grappling hook, which was a game
you know, it looks like,
we also have another thing, which is the paraglider,
looks like
which allows you to
this.
fly from building to building. This is,
like down here, and it shows the little thing and you can move it,
for
and
the
it shows that it's
So a
down
lot of
here.
stuff, really. Like,
But then that's weird that it's up here. I tried, you know, changing the see test widgets. If I do new subscriber, it shows it down here. But I'm not sure if that's just through Streamlabs or what. So, I don't know.
If you know how to use the skills that we give you, you will really be faster, be more agile.
So I don't know what they're talking about here. I kind of haven't really been paying attention too much.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Awesome. Well, you guys, Techland, you know, such a
So I
great
got my
studio
stuff over
and
here.
always
This is
made
cool.
incredible games. Now partnering up with Square on this one.
Add a
So we'll check it
description.
out in
I already
spring of
added
next year.
the description, and then for some reason it didn't go
Xbox
through.
One and PS4.
All right. Well,
Yeah, that
lots
actually
more to
looked
do
pretty
back
good.
there.
I didn't play Dying.
Check out more of it.
See, I thought it was I thought it was
All right, well,
the
we've got
I thought it
another
was
game up
Dying
now.
of
This is a
the
game
Light,
that got
or
announced
the
in
Dying
Xbox
of
press
Light,
conference. I got
or
to talk
Dying
to it
of
a couple
Light.
weeks ago. I hit up these guys and said, I want to hear more about Spiritfire because it's something that people are very curious about. And these guys got a pretty nice spot in the Xbox press conference. Post Keanu slot. As we like
That was
to
pretty
call
cool
it.
having Keanu
And
Reeves on
Nicholas is
stage.
here, the creative director of
People were
Spiritfire.
going nuts. He was just like, and he was just in that weird stance. That was
Which is
pretty
important.
cool.
So Thunder Lotus Games. Yes. Looks like almost like a maple leaf almost, right? The logo.
Actually, it is totally logo for the
Lotus.
University. Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about this game because I think everyone saw it in the press conference and it looks so cool and different, but everyone has so many questions about what this game is, how do you play it. Tell us a bit about your studio and the game, and what was your vision for this?
All right, so Spiritfarer is the studio's third game, and we'll have to define the game as a cozy management game about dying.
Okay.
In the game, you play Stella, the girl as you see here, and Daffodil the cat. And Stella has been just appointed new ferry master to the deceased. So you have to build up a boat, explore the world, to pick up spirits and bring them aboard, and then at some point release them into the afterlife. So it's meant to.
So what you been playing, Crystal Kite? I am like right at the tail end of Resident Evil 4. That's pretty much the only thing I've been playing, and I didn't realize how long that game was. For some reason, I thought it was maybe like 12 hours, and obviously if you played it before, you know, it's going to be a lot less than that, but for it being my first time, I mean, I got like right around like maybe 23, 24 hours, and it just seems like it just keeps going and going. Like I thought like chapter like 4-4 was like the end, like you kill Salazar, and then you got to go save Ashley, and then you oh, South Park Stick of Truth. That was a good game. I still got to beat the Fractured But Whole. Like I played the Stick of Truth back on the 360 probably like 5 years ago. That was one of the games that got me back into gaming. Because I had the Xbox 360 and I wasn't really playing it too much. And I finally saw they had that game at Walmart, and it had gone down from like maybe 40 or 50. It had gone down to like 20 or 30, and I bought it, and that's pretty much what got me back into gaming.
So it's basically, you have to think of it as a cross, you know, mix of a farming sim, so you have to gather stuff. You have to
the ending for
you can farm, you can fish, you can,
for which game? RE4, or you mean the Fractured But Whole, or Stick of Truth? Yeah, I've just been playing RE4, and it just doesn't seem to end. It's like 5-1, 5-2. You're with Ashley, she's driving the bulldozer and stuff. Yeah, that's what I thought. I heard a lot of people say that Stick of Truth was the overall better game, which I don't know. I mean, they're both definitely great in their own ways. It's kind of like the first one was really fresh, you know, and then after seeing the second one, it's not as fresh because you're kind of using the same idea. But, you know, that's okay. They're still great games. I hope they make another one. I remember when they were first talking about it back in the day. And it seemed like, you know, they were going to be making this big awesome game, and then somehow that ended up turning into that one that they had on the Xbox 360 Live Arcade, which I never played that, and I don't think you can still get that at all.
We're 12. But Team of 12 does something completely new and different, which is just beautiful. And when I saw it, I was just like, wow, this is like just the art style just reminds me of, you know, it grabs you, and then to hear that there's such a deep meaning behind that. And tell us, I mean, a bit about the inspiration for that. Was it sort of a personal journey for you to write this game?
It is. It's a game about dying, so you get to think about that a lot. And tons of, you know, inspiration that we have. For example, many of the characters are from relatives, from team members.
See, I think one of the problems is with, you know, they're trying to keep it.
So it's a mix of all that. I have tons of personal, you know, investment into the game, by my personal life and all that. And it's really, you know, it's a game for which you have to care for others.
You know, I think they try to keep the, you know, keep the whole universe like.
We don't want them to. So the way we actually put that.
You know, they try to keep it uniform, so you know what applies in the show. They try not to do in the games and kind of, you know, go too crazy with it.
And then you think of all the people that's been with you and people that you will have to leave at some point.
So I think it's kind of hard for them. I think they probably have ideas that they want to do, but since they don't have it in the show, it kind of makes no sense to.
Yeah, that bittersweet melancholy of, you know, we had also like tons of Ghibli artwork that helped us, you know, do that. You know, that.
Sorry, my brain is all over the place. I could see like a detective game. See, I liked in the Fractured But Whole how you keep getting the option to go back to Cartman and like repicking your type of character, and then you re-go through the whole. You keep re-going through that whole story plot, and you keep fighting the different people that are like in your bedroom. It's like the alien comes in and they're trying to take you, and then.
To give a big hug to Tim Schafer. Oh, sir. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
On
yeah, it was funny.
joining the Xbox family.
I haven't seen South Park since.
Hey everybody. This is the first thing.
I mean, they're on what, season 21, maybe? I think I saw 19. on Netflix, or yeah, I think it was Netflix or Hulu.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And
One
again,
of
Double
those.
Fine and Tim, I've said
'Cause there was the
this
one
for a
where
long
the
time,
whole
Tim, you know, I
season
grew up loving his games, and he
story,
has
you know,
this
all
space
fit
to
together,
be
and I
Double
saw
Fine
that, and
and
then it was
Double
maybe like a
Fine.
month
It's not
later,
that
and the
too long.
following season was
But
out, and it
that's
had
to me,
like
it's
the,
been ama- I mean, it's
I want
not
to say it
cheap
was
to
like the
make
Black
games
Friday
downtown San
episode where
Francisco, and you've been
like
so
Stan's
creative
dad
with
was like
employees,
the
being creative,
security
doing
guard,
interesting, inventive projects.
and I watched all of them
It's
in
just,
like
you know,
one sitting,
exciting to
and
see
I was
that
like
you
falling
found a
asleep
home
during
for
it.
Xbox, for the
But I don't
studio.
have
So
cable, so I
Phil,
don't catch it when it
you
comes
know, he
out,
worked at
which I kind
LucasArts,
of,
worked for him for a long time, and then went
if
off
I
on
had
his
cable,
own.
that's probably something I would watch,
10 years
but
in the 90s might have
I
been
don't
really
watch
cool.
TV
Concerns
anymore,
with the
so
McAllen and
yeah,
what
like
you
season
did,
22,
Knew you
it's like,
back then.
damn, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
I've known you guys. And then Double Fine since like almost 19 years now, making games. And I think, you know, being
Yeah.
independent for all that time let us really figure out who we were and be really solid in our identity and what our values are and what we care about.
Yeah.
So now we can approach, you know, someone like Microsoft who, you know, just we can go through a process like that of being acquired without changing. And I don't think they want to change us. I think there's an interesting thing going on where people are getting ready for this next, like the future.
Yeah, I kind of miss old school cable,
Publishing,
like coming home from school and, you know, used to put on like Cartoon Network and watch like Toonami or like
But there is some
Nickelodeon.
irony, 'cause the Psychonauts back in
But
the day with
I know
Microsoft,
those stations have changed so much. Same for like MTV. You know, we used to watch like Total Request Live,
Exactly.
like TRL back in the good old days of the late 90s. I miss those times. Watching like Hey Arnold and Toonami and all that kind of stuff.
Farther than halfway through. But now they get a chance to finish it, and so that's the favor we could give them. You get to help us finish the second
Finally
game.
come back around 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so I mean, and I don't mean to talk all business on this, but it's like for you that decision to kind of sell to Microsoft, you know, you and the team making that decision seems like it's a good thing. You guys decided this was from a position of strength, that it felt like this was the right thing to do.
Yeah, because it provides a lot of stability, and it just takes a big load off as far as there's a chunk of my brain spent thinking about, you know, the hustle of like where's the next deal coming from and stuff.
Right.
You know, and I don't think about that anymore.
Well, and Phil, he always says to me, it's like part of his pitch to everyone is like, hey, what would you want to do if you had more resources? Or, you know, what would you do if you didn't have to worry about that stuff? And hopefully that means you could be even more creative.
Well, I mean, already I've been thinking about these game ideas that I've had for years where I was like, I can't imagine pitching that to somebody. Or, you know, there's even crazier ideas I think have been bubbling back up in my brain. I can tell that some part of me is getting more inspired by this.
And I love that, you know, even though you made games for so many years, you're energized to do more.
Yeah,
You wanna keep
things,
Double Fine and
a lot of things have changed a lot.
I mean, even though
It's kind of
we're
crazy
inside, I
how
feel like
things
fans,
change
but
right
there's
before
these
your eyes,
things
and you
people,
kind of like,
you know,
you know it's changing, but then you kind of look back even just sometimes over the course of a few months, and you're like, wow, that was like, so much has changed. Whether it's just your personal life or, you know, a freaking TV network or a gaming company. You're like, man, Xbox, they're finally, you know, I give them credit. They're finally trying to get this Japanese support. Like Phantasy Star Online 2, I never actually played like either of those. I wish maybe someday I'll try to find a copy for the Dreamcast, because I still have the Dreamcast, and I know you can go on like a site and basically you can still hook the Dreamcast online and you can play that.
You showed me this demo a couple weeks ago.
I want to play this game. I like how the hall stretches like that. This game looks like a trip. I didn't play the first one or really even know about it, but it kind of just looks like a fun, you know, 3D platformer. Like it's got that, you know, sort of, oh, that's cool.
Switching the perspective and turning this into a puzzle platformer, and it's
That does change perspective. I was waiting for the floor to kind of, yeah, like that.
Doing that again.
That's
but
pretty
also
cool.
working on the psychic powers to make them more interesting on that, and allow the player to have.
So I give Xbox credit. They have all these like new games come out
Combat and puzzle solving situations.
that like don't sell like crazy, and it's kind of cool actually that, you know, they put them on Game Pass, and you know, it seems like they're not, you know, Nintendo seems kind of hard-headed. Like they're not trying to give their good games away for free, and as you see with like the Nintendo Switch Online, you know, they're only giving us like NES. New subscriber, Crystal Kite, thank you so much. Yeah, EA used to make great games. I'm actually going to be doing a video on that. Like I just hooked up my PS2 over here, and I saw an interview the other day, and it's basically one of the guys, he was like on this team. He was kind of like the head of the team, and he was basically the first one to make like FIFA and like the NBA Street games as well as SSX. And over the course of like the next like 4 or 5 months, he's getting a team together, and then he's gonna try to see like who's gonna I guess help fund his actual game and what platform it's gonna be on. But he didn't really want to give anything away, but he was like he's like, we want to bring back like that EA big kind of feel, and they need to give us. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people say they'd be happy with SNES games. I would be too. I mean, I got the SNES Classic, and I basically downloaded the entire SNES library. So really, I can just hook up my SNES Classic to my laptop and, just pick and choose what I want on there. But I would still enjoy them on the Switch just for the portability aspect. Like, I've had the SNES Classic for probably about a year, and there's still a lot of games on there that I gotta play because, like I said, I downloaded the whole SNES library. I found a folder with like, it was maybe like 700 different games, and at any one time, the SNES Classic can hold probably about like 130. I mean, it depends on what the games are and the size like that. But yeah. Anyways, the guy from EA, he's getting a team together, and he's gonna be making He's gonna be making He didn't say what kind of game it was gonna be, but he basically said that over the course of the next several years, he's gonna be trying to bring some of that back. So he kind of said, he's like, I don't want to give it away, but he's like, one of the games that we want to do is, going to be like riding on snow. He's like, one of the other ones is like a, kind of like one-on-one co-op, like, heavy hardcore competitive type of game. He's like, another idea that we have is 4-wheel things that you can drive is basically what he said, and he kind of laughed about it. But yeah, EA, they, yeah, they know they need to change. I don't think they will, though. I think like the biggest problem with like gaming right now is the whole, there's kind of this like black and white, you're either on this side or you're on this side. Game companies, with the way that they like handle themselves in the games that they produce, it's kind of black and white. You got all these like microtransactions and loot box games now, and you got the Stadia coming out, and everyone's talking about like the all digital future. But we can't even get like Netflix streamed flawlessly. So how's that going to work for a game that isn't just downloading video? It's like you need to have a signal that's accepting your controller inputs, and that's got to send out and then come back. So you're basically sending your signal out. Like you got your Stadia, so that's taking the signal, then the thing's sending it back out, and then taking it back. Basically like multiple times between the video and your controller inputs. And it's like, that will be the future eventually. Ooh, nice. I haven't listened to those guys in a long time. That's definitely, if I was a bigger channel, that'd be like instant copyright claim. It'd be like run for the mute button. But yeah, it's kind of the same with, physical, physical music still exists, as well as digital. People use both. Some appreciate only, some kinds of music. So people still buy CDs. I still buy CDs. I still buy like tape cassettes if I can find them. I buy vinyl, but then it's not like I won't listen to music on YouTube or Spotify or any other like streaming. And it's the same for games, and gaming and whole. It's gonna be hand in hand. Like people are worried about Satan. It's like, don't be worried about that. Like maybe many other people in the world will enjoy that thing, but a lot of hardcore gamers are still gonna be just going with their consoles. I think people are a little bit too focused on, the all digital. Like, it'll exist, but they'll both coincide, at least for the next probably 10 years. Because even though a lot of people buy digital games, which is weird also that they don't tell you like how many of those units sell. Like we had like the Super Smash Brothers Ultimate numbers, and even with those, it's kind of like, you know, those are all physical. They don't tell you what the digital numbers are. Like they never tell you how many digital copies they've sold of pretty much any game. Like, and I don't know why that is. You would think that they would boast that and be like, see, digital's better, but it's really not. And I think too, digital games need to be cheaper, because if you think about it, physical games, you know, like digital games, the game is done, and then you basically just, you hit the button and it goes up on the eShop. You're not making carts and like printing the game on chips and making stickers for the cartridges, or, you know, labels for the discs, and then these discs are going, you know, through machines which use electricity and lighting and factories. Then they get packed into plastic cases that need to be made. Then, you know, people need to make the paper, the machines need to cut the paper, you need to cut the plastic for the cases, like all that stuff. Printing, ink, pallets, wrapping, you know, time plus more gas, using more energy, and forklifts and stuff, moving pallets around, putting them on trucks, putting them on trains, shipping them here, just so they can get sometimes unpacked and then redistributed. And then they go on planes, and all the gas and all the time and moving them. And then even at like Walmart or Target, you know, the games cost money to sit on the shelf. Like the overhead for it is you know, kind of ridiculous. And so for a game to be like 60 physical or 60 digital, I'd rather just buy it digital, even if I never sold games, or if I had no care to sell it. Or even if like a digital copy was just the same case but blank, I would still go with the physical. Just because the principle, like if they're going to charge you the same, you might as well have wasted their money on all the gas and ink and, you know, paper and flying and all that stuff.
Are you into it? Yeah, I have the beta, so it is.
See, even in 15 or 20 years, I think there'll still be like physical consoles, I think, because, you know, even people say like vinyl went away, but it never went away fully. Like people were still making it, and now there's like a resurgence for it, and that's even after, you know, the iPod and stuff. So I feel like physical games, they'll hold on in some form or another, even if the main piece of the market goes that way. Like, you know, if Nintendo and Xbox, they announce like an all, you know, their next generation or 2 generations down the line, and their consoles are all digital, I think someone else will come along and make a physical console. And as long as they have, you know, great games, I think people would be like more into that, and they'd be like, you know, like Xbox is still great, but it's all digital, so I'm gonna go ahead and use the all physical console too, and kind of use them together, kind of like how now, you know, people kind of substitute, like the Xbox is kind of the secondary console, so you have like a Switch and an Xbox, or a PS4 and an Xbox to, you know, kind of just like coincide together and substitute together.
Guys, this is so cool that Modern Warfare is back, and everyone saw the reveal trailer.
I'm actually kind of pumped for this. See, I don't know. I'll be curious to see what they say here. I don't know if it's a full remake, but the first Modern Warfare, that was the one that I cared about, and that was in like 2008, 2009. And we played that, World at War, and then Modern Warfare 2, and those are the only Call of Duty games that I ever really played online.
It's not. It's Call of Duty, as Joel's shirt says, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Tell us a bit about the vision for this. Are you calling it a? It's not a remake. It's a, I don't know, it's a reboot or reimagining.
They sell all vinyl, but just once a year.
How do you phrase what this is?
Wow.
Well, yeah, sure. It's a reimagining, right? Reimagining. We are all huge fans.
That's pretty cool.
And the opportunity to take modern.
Do they just do it in like a small storefront, or do they like open up like a huge kind of like Main Street store? Is it like a mini expo? Because that'd be cool to see. I follow a guy that's online, and he's been like, I think he lives in LA. He's been selling his entire vinyl collection, and he's been doing like these mini store openings, and it's all like rare stuff, all minty, a lot of, you know, sought after and like hard to find stuff, and he's making a killing doing it.
Totally. So that's, I think, one of the coolest things about this game is, for the first time, you'll be playing not only as Tier 1 Special Operations Forces, but also as Rebel Freedom Fighters.
Yeah.
So when you're playing as Tier 1,
Rebel Freedom
you've got
Fighters.
all the best tech toys. You've got you know, night vision goggles and the best guns, and you can call in airstrikes.
Yeah.
But when you're playing as Freedom Fighters, you're the underdog. You've got IEDs, Molotovs, you have to use ambush tactics, guerrilla tactics, that sort of thing. So it creates a completely different type of dynamic in combat.
Joel, you know, one of the things I think everyone noticed was just the visuals on the trailer. And again, I've seen more than what's been shown here, but I mean, the tech is really incredible. All of us journalists got to see it about a month ago, and I think we looked at it and we're like, oh, is this running on like a next generation system? I mean, it's really impressive tech, and the art is part of that. So, you know, art is only as good as the technology.
It's medium.
Allows you to bring it to life.
It's
right?
my idiom. It's pretty. It's pretty big.
I think we had, when I first got back, they showed me like a buffet of all these things that the engine could do, and I was like, oh my God, it's incredible. So, you know, we went out and did a lot of reality capture. Like, the goal was to make it the most photorealistic Call of Duty that we could possibly make.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's been a long journey. We had to develop practices in-house of actually building our own technology, like our capture data or our capture machines to go out and capture this stuff, learning the tricks of the trade and kind of pioneering some stuff in-house.
Yeah.
But the result is actually, you know, what you see here. It's through and through from top to bottom. There's a fantastic marriage of reality capture and traditional in-game engine stuff.
Now, you know, one of the things I think a lot of people wondered about when they saw this is like it's so real, and you're telling a real story, and obviously everyone remembers like No Russian from Modern Warfare 2 and the intensity of that. Tell us a bit about, you know, kind of that balance between realism and also doing things that, you know, are, you know, you're dealing with war, you're dealing with sensitive subjects, and certainly games are able to sort of, you know, affect us, which is something that we want, and have an emotional reaction. But, you know, skirting that line, you know, how do you go just to the line but not over it? Tell us a bit about some of those from a macro perspective, how you're approaching sort of like the narrative and some of those more sort of sensitive subjects of war and realism.
Yeah, I mean, as storytellers, we are always looking to put pressure on our characters.
Right.
Because pressure reveals their true nature.
So Crystal Kite, are you pumped for the, what is it, Square Enix? Square Enix conference comes tonight at, I guess, 7 o'clock your time. Right now it's 7:43 my time.
And so, you know, we just want
or wait, is
to
that
portray
yeah, that's tonight.
being in combat in the most respectful, kind of realistic way that we can possibly do it. Now, the difference, I would say, between giant spectacle all the time and a more intimate, intense feeling is, frankly, it kind of piggybacks off what Joel was saying. The engine.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I was thinking the Square Enix one was tonight, but no, it's not. So Bethesda at 8:30, so that's in 45 minutes. And it's Devolver Digital that will be at 7 p.m. your time. Which that'll probably be cool. I remember their conference from last year, and it was pretty good. They have like cool games. They're a cool, quirky. Yeah, I was thinking at 10 my time EST. I was thinking it was Square Enix tonight, but that's tomorrow night. So yeah, I'll probably be streaming that as well. Yeah, more Doom. I'm curious to see how good that'll look.
Which I think is much more interesting.
Even though I don't know if for you you'd probably be buying that on the Switch. I probably would.
When do you not shoot?
But it's kind of weird now, you know, seeing these games come out and seeing like something like Doom, and then it's revealed with like PC graphics and like Xbox graphics, and then, you know, by the time we get it on the Switch, it looks, you know, still pretty good, but not, you know, the quality of look, obviously, that it would look on, you know, an amazing PC.
But because of the technology we have, because of the work we've done with our AI, because of all the engine work,
I'll be right back.
We, for the first time, have environments that are 100% realistic in scale, scanned from real life. Everything about them is real. And that allows us to focus more on the nature of threat identification and things of that
But
sort.
also the way that your friendlies move with you, the thing that you got to see, the townhouse asset.
Yeah.
Those were real. I mean, they're retired now.
Intense,
But they're Navy SEALs. They're doing their thing. That's all muscle memory, and we recorded and captured that. And that gives when you only can get that type of performance when you actually have a realistic environment for them to do it in. You know, otherwise it would look ridiculous. And you know, when you put it all together, it just, man, it really.
Yeah, no, it's.
really
I mean, the levels you showed us, which again, people haven't seen yet, but they're really gripping. And I mean, it's something that you said. Modern Warfare, I think, has always been known for the intensity of the experience, right? And it's like, yes, there've been big spectacle to some of those experiences in Modern Warfare, but it's definitely extremely intense. And for those of us like me that love Call of Duty campaigns, we missed it last year, so it's just great to have that sort of Call of Duty campaign back and reimagined. And I know that's not all. I mean, obviously we can expect MP as well, right? Not saying much about it, but we'll expect that, right?
God, we wish. I'm dying to talk about.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have what's interesting about the game this year, and we've set out to do this since day one.
Yeah.
Is it's one game.
Okay.
It's one consistent universe for the entirety of the game. It's not a bunch of modes you play. You are playing Modern Warfare. So
no zombies in Modern Warfare?
No zombies, because the zombies wouldn't fit into a world that we live in today.
But there's Spec Ops.
Speak for yourself.
I mean,
I think I saw some outside.
But yeah, the point is whether or not you're playing in co-op or multiplayer or single player, you're playing in the same world. The rules are all the same.
Okay.
The mechanics were. You said it the other day, and you were saying that one piece of equipment works the same across all the modes. One weapon works the same. You start to really learn that. How much does it take to hit an AI, or what do I do with this, or how can I use this tactically?
Yeah, and as much as we believe this campaign is going to do for people what the first Modern Warfare did for me and Jake when we played it the first time. Co-op is going to be the same thing.
Okay.
So in the previous Modern Warfare games, there was a mode called Spec Ops.
Yep.
And we are
we
going to have Spec Ops in the new Modern Warfare.
I see. Okay, so you have,
but like Spec Ops like you've never seen.
To the 11th hour.
It's next
level. Crank the knob off, break it, and then throw it away.
But I saw the intensity of some of those Spec Ops missions back in the day were, I mean, incredible.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
But now with that fidelity, the new engine, all that.
It can have a narrative this time.
Yeah, exactly.
It's more exciting. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think an even narrative in the co-op to some degree? Or
the narrative, it goes across all the modes.
Okay.
It's one universe. We have the saying at the studio, consistency and continuity in all modes. So the story continues in all modes.
Interesting. Wow. Well, I said it's such an ambitious idea of sort of going back to Modern Warfare, dropping the numbers, rebooting it. But again, like the team that you guys have put together, I think, to do this. And again, based on the asset, I know people have only seen like 90 seconds of it, but yeah, we got to go to the studio a couple weeks ago and look through it, and I gotta say, it's really, I mean, it's intense, it's gripping, and that level of intensity across a full campaign. Then when you add in Spec Ops and MP, there's a lot there.
Yeah, and just to say it, the things that you saw were some of the more intense moments, but there's character development, there's heart, right? What it really comes down to is it's how squad together and the bonds that we build together, like the bonds that we've all built making this game. It's the same. It should be about what are you fighting for? You're fighting for the guy next to you. You're fighting to make the world a safer place.
Yeah, the old "no one fights alone" that we were always driving through all the Call of Duties. I mean, it's I would say never. It's so much more visceral. I actually really care about these characters I'm with. Even more. I mean, not that we did before, but it's at a higher level this time.
And
really,
you're coming at from sort of two perspectives. So narratively, like, are you sort of, is it interlocking kind of narratives where you switch back and forth? I mean, how do you sort of structure that as a campaign?
Well, one of the things that we liked about the first Modern Warfare is how it sort of went kind of back and forth with these two viewpoints, and we're doing a similar thing. We really liked that. We wanted to retain that, but instead of in the first Modern Warfare game, going between kind of a SAS perspective and a Marine perspective, now we're going with an SAS Tier 1 perspective and this rebel militia freedom fighter perspective. Which we think, again, to not tell that story of the war would be to not.
No, coming from both, and that's why I think it gives you that. So again, another level of intensity.
And then they all come together, and they're all one team.
Yeah, and the idea of playing from different perspectives, not only from a gameplay perspective, but also from a story perspective, what it does is it gives us the opportunity to see war from more ways, more tactics, more gameplay opportunities. When we started making the game, you know, like Z is old school Call of Duty director back at the studio. We said to ourselves, no greatest hits. We want to do something where everything feels new. We want to make you feel like when you were playing Modern Warfare for the first time. So playing as those two different perspectives gives us the opportunity to give you new experiences that you've never seen before, and across all modes, like you were saying, tie the story into everything, because story context gives you more meaning when you're playing other modes, like MP, like Spec Ops.
Yeah, well, I gotta say, it's intense, and I know there'll be more here at E3. We're gonna see you guys on Tuesday for a panel, right?
Yep. Yeah.
All you guys will meet together again, and that'll be streamed on YouTube. So hopefully, we had a call last week. It sounds like we may have some hints of things to come at that panel, so definitely want to tune in.
Finally, we get to
exactly. So definitely tune in for the Call of Duty Modern Warfare panel that will be streaming live right here on YouTube on Tuesday. I think it's at 3 o'clock Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. So we'll see you guys then. Thanks for coming down on a Sunday to hang out with us. Really appreciate it, guys, and we're looking forward to seeing more. Yes, Tuesday for the panel. All right, let's head on out to the patio, chat with Megan to see what you guys are saying on the internets about all things E3 so far. Megan?
Oh my God.
Little kid.
Guys, they're having such a good time. Look at, got our badges, E3 2019. This is the glasses crew. Everyone has glasses on. I wonder if I can join them. I have purple glasses. Just touched down in LA, here I come. Welcome. Looking for the Bethesda E3 press conference. Wow, look at this businessman. He posed for a picture and he's making a business call. He just sealed the deal. He made it happen, guys. Oh my gosh, I'm in this one. I'm in 2 places at once. How did this happen? Just finished watching the Xbox conference, and it's safe to say that we've never been more delighted than we are for that announcement about Lego Forza DLC. We're loving Strawberry 17 and Jeff Keighley. Oh, you guys are the best. All right, Jeff, we're loved out here. We're doing a good job. Go on, Jeff. Just take the show. I'm going to keep looking at his picture.
All right. Works for me. Thanks so much, Megan. Everyone is talking all over the internet about everything going on today. Now, we're not quite in the end game yet, but we've got another look at the furthering adventures of Samuel L. Jackson as Shaft and the one and only TSM Myth hanging out. Check this out.
Remember what I taught you, Beth. Be cool.
Oh my God, Myth, I'm such a fan.
Dude, you're hilarious.
It's him.
What's going on? That motorcycle that drove by was insane.
What the hell? Oh my God, thank you guys so much. I appreciate your love and support. Thank you.
Welcome back to DDub.
Watching my streams, so I guess you could say it's my duty to get that looty.
No.
Samuel L.
It's my duty to please that booty. Kids these days.
Shaft. You're damn right.
Myth and Shaft. On YouTube Live at E3. All right, now we've got
it's crazy in the
new survival action shooter.
what was the new movie he was in where they used the de-aging technology and he looked like he looked in, you know, Goodfellas or even younger. He looked like he was, you know, 17 or 18. That technology that they got to take the years off of any actor is just amazing.
Obviously have done some amazing stuff with Darksiders, you know, personal favorite of mine. Remnant, what kind of game is it? How is it new? What's different?
Too loud, hey.
So Remnant, like you said, it's an action shooter.
Too loud on the microphone. That motorcycle went by.
Things about the game we wanted to emphasize was the co-op element.
And I was listening to the stream on my phone. After I heard it go by with the delay, then I heard the motorcycle pick up on the microphone. I was like, oh my God.
Is the fact that the whole game is randomly generated. So not just the maps and the enemies, but the entire campaign, the worlds, the quests. So you could play the game and come to work and be like, dude, you fight that cool dragon? I'll be like, I didn't see a dragon, I fought a giant tree ant. Or
how do you design a campaign that's totally randomized, though?
It's definitely a challenge. It's taken a long time to figure out. There's a few touch points that always occur because we're trying to tell a story, but yeah, all the intermediate elements change up. Like the bosses, you might encounter different NPCs. You're going to have different side quests and all kinds of different stuff.
So the story
Gee.
is somewhat, I mean, it's still a linear story. It's just sort of how you get between points A and B.
It's not completely linear. Like,
Really?
yeah, you can branch out and do side quests and stuff like that. Yeah, but there is a story. It starts on Earth in an apocalyptic setting, like 1960s. But you go to all kinds of crazy fantasy worlds, like you can see in this video. This is a world called Yesha, which is inhabited by these weird sort of fawn-type creatures. But you go to a wide variety of different fantasy.
Yeah, I just put out a video.
Okay.
Basically,
now,
like this morning at like 3 in the morning.
Term, but it's seems like it's
and
it
was like
pretty intense,
pretty much my
here, right, as well?
my thoughts and reaction for the Pokemon Sword and Shield Direct. I don't know if you saw that, but I'm thinking that game is actually looking really good. I think the first Direct, it kind of only pushed the pedal to maybe like 25 or 30%, and then this last Direct that they had that pushed the pedal to like 50%. I think there's still quite a bit to see to that game, and I think it's going to be pretty awesome when it actually drops. Yeah, I enjoyed it too.
Of the environment. I mean, I love that even the maps are totally randomized, so it's everyone gets kind of a different experience. But then I imagine the replayability is up there, because then you're going to want to co-op with your friends. Yeah, every adventure is going to be
hard to stream up here this summer. I have my AC, but this is
again,
basically my upstairs. It's only 2 bedrooms, but it's a converted attic,
the cool thing is all the items are tied to the
and
mini bosses,
it's freaking hot in
so
here.
if I get a boss or
And then it's got like a drop ceiling, and all the heat is just right up above here.
So there's a lot of incentive to keep replaying to try to get those.
It's just scorching.
And play into the randomized.
Like it's got to be like 85 in here.
So, it's amazing to see that you have so much opportunity, I think, for people to have a different experience every time. Tell us a bit about the character you're playing, and then co-op. Who do you play as?
So you sort of play, you come from this primitive tribe on Earth, because the world's been kind of over for like 80 years.
Okay,
invaded by these weird plant creatures. And you're sent on a pretty high-level quest, like, hey, find out what happened, try to save the world. Kind of a generic, but it's a very it's kind of like an Odyssey-type story where you're going along and you're discovering all these crazy things, because you leave Earth, you go to fantasy worlds, because this is actually one of the crazy boss fights you can encounter. Bosses are a pretty big part of the game, but it's really about the journey along the way and all the interesting stuff you discover and experience as you play the game.
Wow. Well, it's just like, in fact, so, I mean, like this boss you may never see?
Yeah, you could play the game and never get this boss, absolutely. That's pretty crazy. There's tons of bosses that you probably won't even see. You'll have to play it over and over again, and you can unlock an adventure mode, so you could just go, hey, I just want to play on Yesha, and it'll generate a world for you in this biome, and you could try to go through there and
so
get
is there a linear?
This looks kind of cool.
Narrative to it, like a beginning, middle, and end to the story?
there's a main.
Yeah, it's almost summer.
But we're really trying to set up.
Usually it's warm up in the Northeast by this time of year, but we've been having like, 2 days that are like 80 or almost 90. Today was probably like a good 85. And then we have 2 or 3 days of rain where it just goes back down to like 60 or even 50 or even 40. Like a couple days ago it was freezing out. And then it's back to being hot and then back to cold, and it just keeps going back and forth. It's ridiculous.
It's cool, and it feels like it's progressive for you guys to have a game structured like this. So where are you at in development on?
The game comes out August 20th, so
we're
on the final stretch. Yeah.
My God, all right.
So we're working really hard to finish it up, but it's already pretty far along, as you can see. It's playable at E3.
So yeah, the Xbox conference.
This particular map.
Damn.
E3, but,
wow.
Yeah.
I thought it was
pretty
pretty good.
Check more of it, and,
like they got Phantasy Star Online too. I can't wait for that.
We're all for
the new Gears. That was kind of weird the way that they showed that. I don't know how pumped I am for that. The new Halo, again, that was kind of just a hype thing. They didn't really show it too much. This Minecraft Dungeons, I'm not really into Minecraft. My kid plays a lot of it. It's not really for me, but dude, the Lego Forza, yeah. Like that's actually a great concept for a crossover. Whoever thought of that,
at the bottom of the hour,
I give them a big thumbs up on that. I'm sure they were like, that's gonna be stupid, and then it actually happened, and you look at it and it's like, wow. Jason G, what's going on, bro? How are you? Yeah, the Terminator skin for Gears, that looked pretty cool. But like I said, it's they didn't really show. They didn't. That was pretty much like the most that they showed for it. They didn't really show much. Kind of the same for Halo, so
Look at this. It's all
later
the
on we'll be
points
seeing
right
more
here.
for that, so that's cool. This Minecraft Dungeons, this, you know, like I said, I'm not a Minecraft player, but right after the Xbox thing, I saw the trailer was up on Nintendo's YouTube, so it's definitely coming to Switch. So that's cool. I might play this.
Co-op, right? So it's online co-op and local co-op as well. And it's coming to
because you know this isn't just like the building mechanic, like you're fighting, so that adds like a new thing to it where the combat is kind of the main thing here. You know, it's like a Diablo, so I think it's pretty good. Are you enjoying Yoshi? Yeah, that's a good game.
Seems like there's just so much to it.
I was gonna like 100% it, but I just didn't have the time. You know, it's like I just have so much shit to play. It's ridiculous.
Right. So we're wanting to make sure.
Like I've basically been playing. Yeah, Minecraft just turned 10 like last week, or a week and a couple days ago. 10 years. It's like, man.
And you don't customize your character.
It's crazy.
You don't pick a character class. Okay. You customize your character by the artifacts.
Jason, what did you think of Xbox?
The armor that
Do you have an Xbox?
And then you enchant those to find interesting combinations. So that's how you build your character.
Interesting. Okay.
So I got one. I don't really play it much, but it seems like now is kind of the time to play some of the older games that I missed, and some of these new ones that are coming up. It's kind of like with the 360. You know, the Xbox One came out, and even still, you can go to like Walmart and buy Xbox 360 games. So that thing really isn't dead. Like for it being, you know, a 13-year-old console, it's not really dead yet. It still has relevance to it. I think there's still some games that come out, or they just recently stopped putting games out like a year or two ago for like, you know, current gen games. Unless you live in you know, I know other parts of the world they put out like half baked like bootleg like downports of newer games.
You should be able to understand just how it works. Just
yeah, PSO2.
And that also includes things.
I'm surprised someone else didn't get that. Like,
you should be able to understand it.
Whoever didn't get that, or you know, wanted to get it, they're probably kind of kicking themselves now because that game's been relevant and being played by, you know, millions of people for how long has that game been out? That's like a 10-year-old game, or maybe like 8.
If you run into problems, you can just re-customize on the fly. That's also like from Minecraft, you are what you wear.
Oh, you have
well, that's, you know,
have trash internet.
Genres of games that you guys could make with Minecraft. Why was Dungeons?
Yeah, exactly. With the Wii U, they still, I think, Just Dance 2020 is coming to. I don't know about the Wii, but the Wii U, yeah. See, my internet's not too bad. Usually my stream health is on bright green. Right now it's at yellow. So it says users may be experiencing some difficulty or delay. But I'm hardwired now. But for basically like the first month that I've been streaming, I was just going Wi-Fi, and my Wi-Fi box is downstairs, and it was keeping right up. Like I didn't think it would, but I got a pretty good computer, so.
Co-op thing. You can literally sit down and play, and your friend can just come in, pick up another controller, and you go.
Yeah, looks amazing.
That's good fun.
All right, well, Minecraft Dungeons coming spring of next year, right?
Spring 20.
All right. Well, it's so cool that you know, Mojang is doing this directly, and you guys are you know, building it as a true passion project. So
that's true.
Thank you very
have fun back in Sweden, but you got a good E3 week ahead of you, hopefully.
Oh yeah.
Right? And is it playable over there, the Xbox area?
Not in the Xbox area.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Give it time. All right.
Give it time.
All right.
It's a long time.
I know. All right. I'm sure you guys will be working hard all summer and fall. All right. Thanks very much, guys. Really appreciate it. All right. Well, now with a soothing serenade.
That's hilarious.
The lovely Lindsay Sterling, and Lindsay's stopping by because she's got. I hear we
yeah,
have a little
Forza
sneak preview
Lego
coming up a little bit later in this interview, Linz. How's
Sorry,
everything going?
Everything's
Crystal
great.
Kite, do you know, is that like a standalone game, or is that just DLC to Horizon 4?
You've done a little E3 over the years, and
because that's what I
video
took
game
from
music
it, was
for
that
you,
it
I
was
know, has
pretty
been
much
a source of inspiration. I mean, I remember, you
like
know, the early
a
days of
DLC
YouTube, watching some of
patch.
your amazing covers of video game music over the years. When you were growing up, I mean,
See, I'm guessing
How
for
did game music
Bethesda
affect you? I
that
mean,
they're
did it inspire you?
probably
Did
going to
it-
show, you know,
something you
Doom
would just play
Eternal,
on your
which
own?
is coming to
Yes,
Switch.
I mean, I played the violin since I was 6 years old, and
I'm wondering what
started
else they're
playing
gonna
video
show.
games around that same time,
I'm
and
hoping
I
they
was a
show
big,
something
like,
for Elder Scrolls,
Mario-
but it might just be
Mario
like
fan,
another
so the
tease.
theme, you
I don't know. A
know,
lot of people think that that
I
game
remember
is,
playing out my violin as
you
a
know, a
little
couple
kid as
years
soon as I
off,
started to
but
learn to
I
play
think
by
it's
ear.
it's coming.
But the thing I love so much about game music and the way it's affected
So I'm
me as,
curious
like,
to
an
see how that'll
artist
be.
is I love that it's very much
Because
like
I like
storytelling.
Skyrim, but
These
it's,
songs are epic, and
you
they
know,
are
it's
these
not very
independent
colorful.
themes,
Like
and,
after playing for
so
like
for
100 or
violinists,
so
it's like
hours,
a
I was
hell of
kind
a
of just,
candy to get to, like, play with that,
I was
make
kind of
arrangements
done with
of
it.
and
Yeah.
Because it doesn't all
And there's
look the
so
same,
much
but
of
it
it.
all
You said,
has
like, I
that
love
same
the
kind
games with
of,
the
you
soundtracks.
know,
You said there's
color
so much to
palette.
pull
So
from.
I'm
There's so much
hoping
emotion from all those-
the new one
all those
isn't,
moments. When you
you
started
know,
doing
basically
stuff
just
on
Skyrim
YouTube,
2
you know,
with
I
that
remember some
same
of the early
look and
ones you were doing
feel.
with these classic video
I never
games. It
played
seemed like
the
audience really
Skyrim
responded to
Online,
sort of your interpretations of these game themes, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I
which
mean,
I heard
also
that
I
was
love
pretty
the
good.
cosplay
I've
of it.
watched,
Like, you know, I get to
you guys
feed
ever
the
watch
costume
Shirley
side of
Curry?
myself as I got
She's
to,
like the
put on,
86-year-old
little ears
woman
and
that
be Link
plays
from Zelda and,
Skyrim. She's
you know,
awesome.
bounce around the woods with a violin. It was just such a fun way. I guess that was really one of the big things that the world first saw from me.
Yeah.
Was, you know, welcome world, here's Lindsay Sterling. Was
Oh,
these-
and like,
these
yeah,
game
Zelda, and exactly. I mean, when you were doing all
Skyrim.
Skyrim, exactly. That was
Yeah.
like classic Lindsay Sterling, which is
Yeah.
like, you know, stands the test of time. But what I love is that, you know, your career has continued to evolve, and even though
I wonder
you
if we'll
know,
get
you love
Fallout
games and love doing those, you've done such
76
amazing original music videos. And I
talk
actually think of the one
or,
we're gonna
like,
show here, which just,
update.
like, blows me away. And the ones you were doing last year, like, they're just so epic now. I mean, it's like
Thank
you know, you're
you.
on glaciers or you're just like all
Right.
over the place, which is amazing. So, I mean, that gaming stuff is still like part of your DNA, but it feels like for you, I mean, original composition and original music, that's a big part of what you're doing now, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And for
I'm wondering
me,
if they
it's
will,
partly it's so much fun to
announce,
tell other
like,
people's
any
stories
new-
and to,
any
like,
new
interpret
things
it
they've
my own
been
way.
working
But taking
on.
that same inspiration and
Or
being like, well, what
new
story
IPs,
does Lindsay Sterling
not
want
just
to tell?
new games
and,
of,
you know, I'm super excited. I have
you
an
know,
album
pre-existing
coming out later
franchises.
this fall,
But I'm looking
to be
on
announced soon.
Wikipedia here
But,
at
you
their
know, heard it here
list
first,
of games that they
coming soon.
actually
Awesome.
And it is
have worked
very,
on.
very story-based. Like, as I wrote
And
the
I knew they
entire
were like an
album,
older
it's all
company, but I
themed
didn't realize
around,
that they worked on like
a concept
Wayne
and a story,
Gretzky
and,
hockey and like
characters were
Home
a part of it in
Alone.
my mind. And
Wow.
I think all of that stems from, you know, this coming up with video game culture.
That's so cool. Well,
Yeah.
and it's nice to hear you talk about that because so many artists now, it's like we're in such a single-driven culture in music where people don't
Right.
even think about
They
you know,
did-
the concept album, right? It's like once in a while we'll get those. I love that. I mean, you're talking about is this is a complete thought, this album with sort of like a beginning, middle,
Yes.
end to it.
You know, they did
Absolutely.
Star Trek
And that made it
games,
a lot of fun to
Doom.
write because it wasn't just like, what sound do I
I
want
wish
to
they would
on
make
this
like a
song? It's
new
no, this is
arcade,
kind of a
like
missing gap in the
classic
story, or this
Doom,
emotion
like a
that hasn't
pixel
been
art,
present yet for, you know, this
32-bit.
these themes in my mind and these like characters that I've kind of, you know, started to
You know,
to
or
develop.
like a
That's
new
so
Quake
fascinating
3
to hear you
arena.
talk about that because I wondered, do you
I'd be
come
cool
up
with
with
that. I
do you
played the
have art of
Dreamcast
the
one. I loved
story
that game. We used
that
to
you
play it
wanted to tell,
online.
and then you kind of
Hooked up to
wrote
the
music to fill that, or did
the old
music sort of
52K
almost
modem.
inspire, like,
Those
what
were
you
good
wanted to tell?
times.
That's such a good question.
Yeah, I'm curious.
And the fun thing was it was both. I
Yeah.
had like a beginning.
Yeah, they kind of have
an
just been
end, and kind
rehashed,
of
and
a
that's why
middle of the story,
I don't really
and then as I wrote the
play
album,
many Bethesda
like,
games. Like
the
aside
music
from
inspired
Doom
extra elements of
and
what I wanted to
Skyrim,
share. So they kind
I
of
maybe
fed each
played
other, and it's been a really
the
fun
first hour
process
of
to
like
see how
Fallout
every
3.
like, because I like art, everything.
And
like I
like
said, from
Fallout's cool,
costuming
but it's
to
just not
live
my kind of
shows
game. It wasn't
to
something I was
the
gonna
music to the
invest,
stories that
you
I
know,
like to
hundreds
tell,
of
and
hours
it's interesting
into.
how every part
But they got
of
like,
that
you
is
know,
all happening at the same time for me,
Yeah.
and it's really feeding the whole
so
project.
if you look
from
at their
every angle.
list,
So track 3 has to be track 3. It can't be track 10, right? It's
Right.
all like
the longer it goes, you
Right,
see the
right.
less amount of
Part of the
games come
experience.
out.
Now, how does this all link
You know,
into YouTube? You have
Dishonored,
an amazing
Elder
YouTube
Scroll
channel. I mean,
Legends,
people are
Prey,
such a part of your
Dishonored,
story, too.
Evil
So
Within.
You have the album, but do you think of it as like, you know, as Beyonce's
You know,
visual
Elder
album,
Scrolls
or it's like,
Blades,
is it, like, how do you
Fallout
think of, like,
76 for
the
H2,
videos that go alongside this? Is there gonna be a mini
Wolfenstein,
movie, or how do you
Cyber
do
Pilot.
that, like the
Yeah,
which says it's coming
The video
out
component for me
July.
and this
So that's
project
for
in particular is,
HTC
you know,
and
the video is gonna, they're all gonna
PlayStation
be
VR.
little mini vignettes. So it's not like
You
it
know,
tells
Starfield,
like a, you know,
Elder
A, B,
Scrolls
C,
6,
like
and
linear
Wolfenstein
story,
3 are
but it's
basically
very
their
thematic.
latest.
It's very, you
Along
know, the
with
themes
Quake
are gonna be
Champions and
represented
Doom
through
Eternal. Those are the
different music
latest
videos. And
to be
I think once
announced
you've seen all of it,
titles
it
that are
does end up telling
on their Wikipedia. So
Now we gotta
we'll
get
have to
Lindsay
see. I'm
video
not
game, right?
super
That's
duper
right.
excited
Right.
for this conference. Like, I don't know if it's gonna be, you know, 20 minutes or a half hour.
You got a little bit of a teaser.
Could be pretty good though.
How this puzzle
it might
fits
be
into the bigger
actually
puzzle of
excellent,
the album.
but I'm not really expecting that.
Sounds like you've got a new single coming very soon, right?
Yes. So in, gosh, less than 2 weeks, I can't believe it, on the 21st of June, we're dropping the single and the music video. It's the first original music I've released in a long time, and it's the first single from a new album.
I'll be back in about 5 minutes. I gotta go run down to the store really quickly, so I will return very shortly if you guys want to just hang out and enjoy this without me. But I'll make it quick. So I'm gonna turn the mic off and I will be right back.
On YouTube?
Yeah,
I was gonna say.
Sophie Dossi.
Yeah, Sophie. All right, sorry. I was just asking. Yeah, I was because I know she was a creator summit with you, and I was like, oh, she's so fascinating. So that's like, yeah.
She's fascinating to watch. It was so fun to do this music video with her and with several other performers as well.
Okay.
And as you see, I have a very specific look in the music video.
I love it.
And
it's
that's
just like...
one of the kind of characters that the whole, you know, project is themed around.
Okay.
So it's kind of been fun to, like I said, design characters and design a world.
And does this character appear in multiple sort of points throughout the album, or how many characters do we get?
She does. You'll just have
I'm just
to wait
digging
and see.
for like more information. And can you tell us the name of the track?
The track is called Underground.
Underground. Okay, so Underground will be coming out in a couple of weeks, and that ties into this larger story.
Yes.
Is this part of the beginning, middle, or the end?
This is the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the first track on the album.
Track. Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
On the track listing, it's the first one, which felt appropriate to start at the beginning.
Oh, I think it's so cool that, you know, you've been so progressive in kind of using music and YouTube and videos come together, and the fact that this album is like all original from you, but is really such a creative exploit on so many different levels. I think it's like fascinating to see how it's all going to piece together.
I'm excited about it. It's been really flexing my creative muscles to do this in a way I've never done before, and I'm pretty happy with how it's all coming together.
It sounds amazing. You know, when I saw the video, I'm like, wow, it's like such a cool look and like all the visuals and the lights and everything, and I can't wait to see the full thing. So full video in 2 weeks.
Yes, June 21st.
June 21st. All right, we'll check it out. Linz, great to see you, and hopefully we'll hear some Lindsay music and video games soon as well.
Yes, that would be awesome.
We'll make that happen. It's people at E3 that can probably help with that. All right, thanks, Linz. Appreciate it. All right, our next operation is going to another Tom Clancy fan favorite, Rainbow Six Siege, and joining us to talk about the Operation Phantom Sight is brand director of Rainbow Six Siege, Alexandre Remy. Alex, great to see you, man. How's everything?
Hi, Jeff. Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you here. I mean, I got to say, Rainbow Six Siege, I remember hosting the launch event for that. It was like, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 years ago. And the life of this game, it's everyone in the industry talks about how this game came out and it did fine, but it's like you guys have just continued to build the community and the excitement. I know you got a big tournament happening here this week at E3. And so much new content coming out for it constantly, which I think is just phenomenal. So tell us about what's new for Rainbow Six this year at E3.
It's pretty new that we're launching next week Operation Phantom Sight, which is actually the update number 13 of the game. Wow. So every quarter we're releasing new content and operation that composed of 2 operators or 2 playable characters, usually a map and a bunch of features, and that's the 13th time now that we're doing it.
Wow. No, it's so cool that you guys continue to do things. So now I know the second season of Year 4 includes 2 new operators for players to choose from. Tell us about those operators.
Yeah, indeed. We have, with Phantom Sight, we introduced Knock and Warden, so 2 new characters. Knock is an attacker. She is equipped with a silent step. She sort of is the infiltrator of the gang. It's very potent and powerful because she also is completely invisible to cameras of the defense. Yes. So that's a pretty interesting tool to get when you're attacking. And Warden, on the opposite, is more of an anchor, right? A character that slows down the attacks when they're trying to get on the objective. So he comes with a watch, a special watch that allows him to see through smokes.
Oh, there's a special watch.
That's
right
him. Yeah. Like our Tom Selleck meets James Bond character.
No, and I love it. Again, it's like the character and fiction that you're kind of bringing into this, you know, multiplayer universe that everyone has so much fun with, and also new features, reverse friendly fire.
Indeed. But I mean, let's talk a bit about toxicity if you want, because that's exactly where it comes in.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. I mean, every big online game has, with a big community, problems of toxicity, whether it's exploit, cheating, etc. And in Rainbow Six, being a shooter, the problem is we have friendly fire, meaning if we are in the same team, you and I, you can actually shoot me and I'll get damage, right? So that can lead to obviously some behaviors that we rather avoid. So that's why we introduced in the last update a reverse friendly fire, meaning if you do shoot at someone after a certain threshold, damage is going to actually get reverted to you. So you take the damage, you do not kill anymore your teammate, and the game can go on like this.
So that's interesting. Is that going to be something you're just going to introduce into the entire game moving forward?
Yeah, we did what we call test servers, which is before this feature or actually any feature in the game gets into the live, so for any player to access to it, we actually do test servers, which is with a small number of people trying new features, trying new operators or a map, and see if everything goes well, if that needs a little bit of tweak or balancing, which is what we did for Reverse Friendly Fire.
Wow. All right. So that's going live with this update?
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, as you guys think of this game moving forward, I'd love to just even get your thoughts, because you guys are kind of leaders, I think, in this in terms of building the community and new content. What do you see as what's working for the game? I mean, is it this constant cadence of sort of, new updates and new characters?
About a year and a half ago, we talked about the road to 100 operators.
Wow.
The game currently have 46.
So you got a long way to go.
Not even yet halfway through it. And the idea is, like, think of Rainbow Six Siege as an FPS meets chess. And every new piece, every new operator is a new piece of chess that we bring to the chessboard, right? So that brings new gameplay, new possibilities and combination, right? Which is all what gaming is all about, right? Giving more choices to each and every one of the players to express themselves in the game. So that's what we're planning on doing. So 50 more operators, obviously.
E3 2035, you'll be like, we're number 97, we're almost there.
But it's going to be fun. And for us, it's always been extremely important not to segregate community, which is the issue that you have if you do have, for instance, maps that are on map packs that you sell on DLC, or even doing a sequel for that matter. So keeping the community as a whole, making sure that every player can actually play as long as possible that game is clearly the ambition there.
Awesome. Well, it looks cool. That I love, again, what you guys have done with this game, how you continue to build the community. I know this week we'll hear more. I know the Ubisoft press conference is tomorrow, so there will be more Rainbow Six news tomorrow?
Absolutely, of course.
Okay. Of course. It's like
reveal everything.
Every event, there's always got to be something new. Well, congratulations on what you guys have done with sort of pioneering a new model for this game. It's really cool. So awesome. It's great to see you. Good luck with the press conference tomorrow. All right, we're going to head on back now to main base, because the one and only final Bossman is here. What's up, Bossman?
Hey.
Good to see you, Bossman.
Absolutely. Happy E3.
Happy E3, Bossman. It's great to see you. We always have to have Bossman on the show. We're counting down to Bethesda. Oh, wow, we're like 13 minutes out.
Okay.
From Bethesda Bossman. And our friend Kyle Bossman from Easy Allies, there's the plug,
Thank you.
Has all the answers on what the next-gen consoles will look like. We heard about Project Scarlet this morning.
Yeah.
But we didn't see it. Well, Kyle Bossman,
I know what it looks like.
You have some inside scoops?
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously it's been an E3 full of leaks.
Yes.
Right, that's a disappointment. But I have the best leaks, Keely.
Really?
Yes. Okay, but I want to start with talking about the Switch.
Okay.
You know, Wall Street Journal earlier this year, they said that...
Switch is coming.
Yeah, 2 revisions of the Switch. One that's like a little more affordable, a little cheaper, and then one that's like enhanced for core gamers.
Yes.
Well, I have some CG renders of what these 2 Switches are going to look like.
You're doing the CG renders.
Yeah. I worked really hard on this. Here we go.
This is impressive. All right, I'm looking forward to this. All right, what do we got here?
So this is the cheaper, more affordable one.
Yes.
What you see here is a new feature they have called Fluffy Plop.
Okay.
Apparently, like some mashed potatoes will drip out of the console. Just a quirky little feature. This
is not CG, Bossman.
Yes. Jeff, this is hard CG.
Hard CG on an Apple Pencil.
Okay. You're not happy with my Switches? It's fine, because I have PlayStation 5 scoops. Ready for these?
We don't even know it's called the PlayStation 5. It's just next generation PlayStation.
You know it's called the PlayStation 5.
You think so?
You and I know, yes. Because in April, back in April, Mark Cerny, lead architect, right? He was talking to Wired. He told them all about it. You know, backwards compatible with PS4, super fast load times. Well, I got the scoops, Keely.
Okay.
I have a photograph from the PlayStation factory.
I don't think we can show that, can we?
Yes, here it is.
Oh, okay.
This is what the PS5 looks like. Don't Sony engineers know how to make sexy hardware?
Yes, they do. It's got hands now?
So the hands, yeah, those are for shoving the other consoles off of the shelf.
Okay.
And this right here, this is like a little ceramic poop. Apparently it's kind of like a power play.
Okay.
They know we're going to buy it anyway, so they kind of just like get off of that kind of thing.
The lips on it or something? Or
That's for the sexiness, yeah, to make it sexy hardware.
I see. All right. Looks great, Bossman. Yeah, this is completely accurate, I'm sure.
Yeah. I hear it's shipping now. You know, they're making those now.
I'm sure there's a leak from the factory. What factory is this at?
The PlayStation factory.
Okay, wow, yeah, exactly. Fantastic, Bossman. Well, Bossman, thank you so much.
No, I'm not done yet. I got one more huge scoop for you.
This is probably the Scarlet, right?
It's the Scarlet, yeah. So yeah, obviously they talked about a ton today, right? Yes. But Xbox insiders know Scarlet's actually 2 projects.
Right.
Codename Anaconda.
Yes.
Codename Lockhart. I'm sure you've heard of these things.
Yes.
Well, guess who got them? I found these 2 things in the back seat of Phil Spencer's convertible this morning.
Really?
And right here, live on live. Yes, I'm going to bring them out right here. Here they are.
Wear your white gloves like Major Nelson. Mm-hmm. Where are they coming? Are they coming from the ceiling? Where are they coming from?
Well, okay, they're right here. So look at the look at the Anaconda here, Jeff. Yes. This thing looks like it could eat monsters that eat monsters for breakfast.
Does he have like? Is it like a little yogurt he has or something?
Oh, that's the Lockhart. The rumors are true. Lockhart is just a tipped-over yogurt.
Oh, I see. But this is the Anaconda. Mm-hmm. I do think the controller into the tongue. This is beautiful.
It's exciting stuff, right?
You worked really hard on this, boss.
No, this is all real. I didn't work on any of this.
I mean, it's amazing. And was that the Anaconda has it's like a smokestack?
This is exhaust. Yeah, that's exhaust coming out of it. I got one more leak for you.
There are no consoles left. Do you have a Stadia?
I got the launch titles for these things, Jeff.
For all the systems?
Just for the Xboxes. When the next Xbox
we know it's Halo Infinite, right?
Yeah, so it's going to be a launch title that comes in 2 versions.
Okay.
Halo Infinite Good and Halo Infinite Bad.
And what's the difference between the 2?
Halo Infinite Good is good, and then Halo Infinite Bad is on the bad one.
I see. It's same game, same experience. It just happens to be bad. Lower frame rate.
A little worse experience, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say it probably gets a little hard with the yogurt and the game and all that.
I'm sorry.
Together.
I'm sorry, Jeff.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just learned I'm fired from the show. I got a lifetime ban from YouTube forever.
Probably the case, Kyle. I mean, this is it's a little disappointing, honestly, that people are here showing us games they've worked years and years on with incredible graphics and incredible production value.
The king of scoops. I wanted to bring you scoops.
I appreciate Boston, but honestly, I'm a little disappointed.
I'll get it next year. Next year, I'll get it right. I promise you, I'll have the scoops of scoops.
There's not. I mean, all the consoles will be out. We'll see them by next year. It's going to be over. What are you going to do, Boston?
Guess I'm buying Halo Infinite Bad.
I think you're going right back to Easy Allies.
I think you're right.
Good luck with that Patreon.
Thank
you. Don't need it. All right, Kyle Boston, great to see you.
Thanks, Jeff.
I'm sorry, folks. We're running a little short. We needed something. It's all right. All right, we're in the 10-minute countdown now for Bethesda. We're getting back to some real video game news. Megan, I'm sure the internet is commenting on that segment. We'll kind of brush that over. Let's get rid of those tweets and let's move on to the stuff people really want to know about. What are they saying, Megan? Are they predicting Bethesda?
They're excited about the free drinks.
For After Party, free drinks.
There are free drinks. Also, Tim is setting a good example. He couldn't resist. He's taking photos with the photo that says no photos or social media, and he posted it on social media. Get what you did. Whole lot of 2020 announcements at E3 2019. So I am counting on Bethesda to bring that doom. So am I. Captain Flash, the first one's in line for the Bethesda showcase. Look, everyone's having such a good time. Bethesda really knows how to put on a good show. My hopes for Bethesda BE3, Fallout 3 on the Switch, Oblivion Remastered, and another quick Starfield teaser at least. Dang, Fallout on the Switch would be amazing. I'm so excited for Bethesda's E3 conference. I have everything crossed for the Evil Within 3 announcement. I can't express how much I love this game. Seb, I'm hoping for you too. Jeff, back to you.
All right, back to me as we count down to all things Bethesda. And we are in the end game now, folks. Joining me to get you completely caught up on everything from Bethesda is the editor-in-chief of Kotaku, Stephen Totillo, YouTube gamer and vlogger, Boogie2988, and All Elite Wrestling's Kenny Omega. All right, this is an eclectic panel, but I love it with all the inside scoops on all things Bethesda. What's the shirt we got on here, Dylan?
The Kotaku shirt.
Oh, I didn't know there was a Kotaku shirt.
Yeah.
Are you doing a game now?
No, not a game, just a website.
Is this you battling to get into the Bethesda press conference?
I'm not a warrior woman, Jeff.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you got shirts. You got the merch now.
And there's no access for us to the Bethesda press conference. We're not battling.
There's a standby line I heard you could stand in. Anyways, all right, moving on to all things Bethesda. So let's start with you, Boogie. What's I think you were with us last year when we were talking Bethesda. What are you hoping for? Because wasn't last year you had like an inside guy at Bethesda that was giving you some.
It was a little bit, right? Like talking about a little bit about like Fallout and.
Do you have that inside source still?
Not this year. Nope.
He's gone.
I've been fairly critical of Fallout 76 at its launch, but the game has actually come along to be a lot better than it was at launch, and I really like what they're doing with it. So I'm hoping for some Fallout 76 news today. I would love to see him go, like, announce officially going free to play.
Yeah, Pete Hines was here this morning, and he admitted, you know, we messed up. We have to address it tonight. We have to talk about what we're doing. So I think we'll hear something.
Yeah, the game could be very great, and it's starting to get there. Really, if you look at the path they've taken since launch, it's getting better and better every single day, and I really look forward to seeing what it's going to turn out to be.
Kenny, you a Bethesda man?
I mean, yeah, I am a Bethesda man. Fallout 4 is still, I would say, probably one of the most played games of my PlayStation 4 library.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, like, I get how it works. Like, you know, for every Fallout 3, there's a Fallout New Vegas. You know what I mean? There's something that happens that precedes it.
In between.
Right. So I'm not willing to count it out.
You're ready for Fallout 5 tonight?
I'm ready for Fallout. I'm ready for Dishonored. I love Dishonored as well.
Yes.
It's another great series. So counting out Bethesda would be a bad move to make. So I'm always excited for, you know, future announcements and anything they have to offer. For
the thing was last year they announced so many things.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's the thing is they kind of like, I mean, literally, I think revealed their strategy for the next couple of years, especially on Todd Howard's side with Bethesda Game Studios. They've said they're not going to talk about Starfield tonight. They're not going to talk about Elder Scrolls 6. Rumors, though, that they may have like a new game from Project the Tango guys in Japan. Steven, what are your sources saying? What should we expect tonight, do you think?
Well, it's not just my sources, but Twitter. Shinji Mikami himself has said that he would be in LA for something. Right. So hopefully we'll see something from him, the great creator of many of the best Resident Evil games, and then he did the Evil Within horror series for Bethesda with a younger designer who led Evil Within 2, and it'll be great to see if he puts out something new. Also, I just want to see, I always appreciate that Bethesda tries new platforms. They try different things. We saw them dabble with VR for a while. We've seen them support the Switch more than a lot of other third-party publishers, and we've seen Doom on the Switch already. And
everyone wants Doom guy for Smash.
That would be great. Yes, that would be great if they had that. But you know, I wonder where we'll see Bethesda go if there's going to be some experimentation. I would love to see that.
Doom guy for Smash. Yeah.
That'd be hot.
If his ultimate was the BFG and just
my God,
annihilate the screen, pixelated. You know,
Doom Eternal I played a couple weeks ago, and I got to say I had a lot of fun with it. It is really fast and frenetic, and it's just like.
That is easily one of my most anticipated games left, and I hope we get to see a little bit more of it.
And again, like they showed some stuff last year at QuakeCon, but what I played, like people tonight see what I got to play. I mean, I was really blown away, and it's super fast and fun and classic Doom.
Super pulse pounding, great soundtrack.
Yeah.
Just fun gun control.
Exactly.
It's
Mick
great.
Gordon with so I think it's that one I think is going to pop in a pretty good way for Bethesda. But you're right, it's an interesting year for them because coming out of Fallout 76 and like, you know, what's their big holiday game? I assume it's Doom.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, what do they have in the future? And but I do say like Bethesda tends to see E3 as the place where they kind of announce pretty much everything. I feel like now, right?
Well, a little bit of QuakeCon.
Yes.
But also, you should think back. It's not that many years ago when Bethesda wasn't even doing these press conferences.
Right.
It's still a testament.
They started, I think it was with Fallout 3, I think they started. Might have been with
Maybe,
Todd going out and doing it. And it was only, like you said, like 4 or 5 years ago, maybe.
It's a testament to what they've built up, that they've been able to be prolific enough and successful enough to have their own show. I think that's a credit to them.
Yep.
And you never know. I mean, maybe we just saw Microsoft had a surprise studio acquisition. Maybe there's more studios coming into the Bethesda family.
Well, and Kenny made a good point about like Dishonored, which again is like an amazing franchise.
Absolutely.
Sort of has been on the shelf for a couple of years now, probably 3 years, but still, it's like people would love to see that. And Bethesda is pretty good, I think, about using their franchises frequently. You look at like id now, it's like they just had a Rage that shipped. They have a Wolf that comes out this summer. Then they have Doom this fall. It's like they tend to be, their franchises are pretty active workers, I think, versus like putting things.
I like how they don't put all their chips in one basket too. You know, they have not only Dishonored, they don't, not only your Dooms and all that, but one thing 2019 has proven is that survival horror is back. You know, Resident Evil 2, the remake, was so good, and so I really do expect maybe an Evil Within to be announced this year. And I think with the improvements that I think 2 made on 1, it's probably going to be really good and probably another step forward in the right direction and to continue on the trend, which is survival horror being here as a mainstay.
No, it's a good point that they like. Mikami, it's like it's probably another Evil Within because I feel like Bethesda really does build their brands. I mean, they even brought Prey back. It's like they sort of really try and milk those. So maybe they do something new, but I could also just see another Evil Within. Come from those guys, which would be really.
I'd be happy with it. Yeah.
If I were writing the script for them this year,
I
would have.
How would you start, Boogie? What would be the scene?
Humble, and just knowing that just facing the handful of criticisms that they've had to deal with in the next year, and reassure people that Fallout 76 will be the game we want it to be. And then hit us with the games we know about, the franchises we know about, and end with that nice big punch, and maybe even a splash card for Elder Scrolls 6. I'll settle for another splash card.
Yeah, it feels like, I mean, I think that's so far away, but I think you're right. And when Pete was here this morning, they did really seem to say, like, we have to, you know, address that. And some companies would say, like, hey, we're just going to focus on the positive and what's next and not mention it. You know, even EA yesterday, it's like, didn't really even cover Anthem. And some people were like, oh, that was odd. This game came out, and it's sort of the elephant in the room. It sounds like, based on what Pete was saying, it's like they know they have to address it. We'll see. Todd Howard is always so good on stage. I'll be interested. Will he walk out? Will he sort of talk about it? See tonight.
Yeah, I would expect it. I mean, people have gotten used to now this comeback story. We saw it with No Man's Sky. We saw it with the first Division.
Yep.
It's annoying and frustrating, and some people feel misled and ripped off when a game comes out and it's not as good as it was hyped or as good as it feels like it should be. But we have seen that there are studios that will
10
work
seconds
hard
away, Tatil. Sorry to cut you off.
make a better game.
But we're going live right now to the Shrine Auditorium for Bethesda's E3 press conference.
Welcome
we'll be
back
afterwards
to DDub.
Enjoy the show.
DDub here. Let me just go ahead and open these windows.
With a game, there is no game without the players.
Really, it all comes down to you.
みんなと一緒以外は考えられない。
Without you, there is no game. There's no one to play it.
Oh man, it's blazing in here.
ないよ。
You keep us
Wait,
in
am I
check.
still live?
And we appreciate that.
Oh, okay. I am still live.
Through all of it,
You're always there with us.
you are definitely not afraid to tell us how you feel.
Your feedback sometimes challenges us, but it forces us to be always challenging ourselves.
You empathize with us as developers and with each other as a community. It's really
That's a
beautiful.
little better. All right,
I'm Dean
here we
Gabakaba,
go.
And I used to take a week off
Sorry
every
for not
time
being
Bethesda
so
game came out.
My name's Mark Diaz.
entertaining.
When I was 8 years old, I used to sneak over to my buddy's house
Stream
to play
health,
Doom.
no active stream.
I'm Rich Lambert. Daggerfall was one of the very first games that got me into the Elder Scrolls world.
I'm
Why
Dana
does it say
Cousteau,
that?
and I started out as a 16-year-old gamer who just wanted to bring joy to others through video games.
And now I'm game director at Arcane Studios.
Now I'm a game programmer at id Software. Now I get to be a part of building that world as the creative director on Elder Scrolls Online.
Now I'm a UI programmer at Bethesda Game Studios, and it's everything I could have dreamed of. I see you.
I see you.
I see you. Now I'm a UI programmer
We
at
see you
Bethesda Game
because
Studios,
we
and
are
it's-
you.
And together,
Together?
We are all. We are all.
we are all
We are all. We are all.
Can't believe I missed the boogie thing.
Please welcome Bethesda's Senior Global Vice President of Marketing, Pete Hines.
Thank you. Thank you very much. How are you? Feel good? Awesome. Thank you guys for being here. Thank everyone watching around the world to tuning in to watch our 5th annual E3 showcase. This is a night dedicated to those who love games, who love the incredible entertainment that games provide. This past year, you fought demons on Mars and Nazis in America. You were assassins in the Empire, adventurers in Tamriel, and survivors, a lot of us, and survivors in the Wasteland. And you've embarked on these amazing adventures on PC, console, VR, mobile, or wherever and however you choose to play. And that's the key. You take the worlds that we create and you make them yours. You share your experiences with other players, with friends, and with family. With our games, you've built large global communities that truly matter. This year, we want to give special recognition to the extraordinary Bethesda community. As you saw in our opening video, you mean everything to us. I've almost been at this company for 20 years. And when I first started, one of my first responsibilities was moderating the community forums, chatting with you, and keeping you up to date on our games. It was a great way to start my career at Bethesda because it was the perfect reminder of why we do what we do. And like so many others at Bethesda, I've spent a lot of time with you at events around the world. I've enjoyed meeting so many of you and getting your thoughts and feedback. So tonight, we'll be taking time throughout the show to hear directly from some of you